Hey there, before I start this story, I've got something to say. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? And here's a fun question. Have you ever had a neighbor who was super nosy or bossy? I'd love to know. Oh, and if you like stories like this, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Okay, now let's get to the good stuff. It was a bright, sunny Saturday morning in a place called Oakwood Hills. That's where I lived. My name's Jake Miller, and I was 12 years old back then. I just wanted to have a fun weekend, no school, no homework, just me, the sunshine, and maybe some time to play with my dog. Oakwood Hills was a quiet little neighborhood. It had small houses with green lawns and big trees that made cool shadows. Everyone knew everyone, or at least they thought they did. But here's the thing, I had a secret. It's a big one. It was like a hidden trick up my sleeve, and nobody had any idea. Not yet, anyway. My mom and I had moved to Oakwood Hills a few months before this day. We came from another town, so we were still the new kids around here. Most people were pretty nice. There was Mrs. Lopez, who always waved and gave me cookies, and Mr. Carter, who liked to tell funny stories about his old truck. But then there was Karen. Oh boy, Karen was something else. She wasn't just any neighbor. Nope. She was the president of the HOA. That's a group that makes rules for the neighborhood, like what color your house can be or how tall your grass can grow. And let me tell you, Karen loved being the boss. She acted like she owned the whole street, not just her house. Everyone knew her, and most people tried to stay out of her way. Me, I wasn't so lucky. So let's set the scene. It's that sunny Saturday, and I'm outside in our front yard. I've got a hammer in one hand and some nails in the other. I'm building a little wooden gate for my new fence. It's not a big deal, just a simple gate made of wood planks. I wanted it to keep my dog, Rusty, safe. Rusty's a goofy little guy with floppy ears and a wagging tail. He loves chasing squirrels, but sometimes he runs too far, like into the street. That's dangerous. So I thought, hey, a gate will fix that. It was my big plan for the day. Hammer, bang, nail, done. Easy, right? Well, not quite. While I'm out there working, the sun's shining, the birds are chirping, and Rusty's barking at a butterfly. Everything feels perfect. I'm banging nails into the wood, thinking about how cool this gate's gonna look. It's not super fancy or anything, just tall enough to stop Rusty from jumping over it and strong enough to stay up when he bumps into it. I even painted it blue, my favorite color. I'm smiling, feeling proud, when suddenly I hear it. Flip-flops. Loud, fast flip-flops coming my way. And I know exactly who it is before I even look up. Karen's. Karen lives right across the street from us. Her house is super neat, with perfect flowers and a lawn that looks like it's been mowed with a ruler. She's always watching everyone, like a hawk looking for something to swoop down on. And that day, she decided my gate was her next target. To me, it was just a gate. A helpful little thing for Rusty, but to Karen, oh no. To her, it was like I'd built a giant monster in the yard. She didn't see a gate, she saw a problem. It's a big, ugly, rule-breaking problem. And trust me, Karen hated anything that didn't fit her perfect little world. I'm hammering away, minding my own business, when she marches over. Her flip-flops go slap, slap, slap on the pavement. She's got her arms crossed and her face all scrunched up like she just smelled something bad. I look up and there she is, standing at the edge of my yard, staring at me like I'm some kind of criminal. I try to keep working, but I can feel her eyes on me. It's creepy, and then she opens her mouth. Jake, she yells, loud enough for the whole street to hear. What do you think you're doing? I stop hammering and look at her. I'm building a gate, I say, holding up the hammer like it's obvious. For Rusty. I point at my dog, who's now rolling in the grass, happy as can be. But Karen doesn't care about Rusty. She doesn't even look at him. She just shakes her head and says, "That gate's awful. It's too tall. It's too ugly. It's against the rules." Rules? I blink at her. It's just a gate, I say again, hoping she'll calm down. But nope. Karen's not the calming down type. See, here's the thing about Karen. She thinks she's in charge of everything. If your mailbox is crooked, she'll tell you to fix it. If your trash can stays out too long, she'll knock on your door and complain. And if you do something she doesn't like build a gate, she turns into a tornado of mad. That's what was happening now. She didn't like my gate, and she was ready to make it a huge deal. But what she didn't know was that I had a trick ready. A secret weapon she'd never guess. This day wasn't going to go the way she thought, not even close. I try to keep working, banging another nail into the wood. Bang, 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 Rusty barks, the sun shines, and Karen keeps talking. "You can't just move in here and do whatever you want," she says, her voice getting louder. "This is Oakwood Hills. We have standards." Standards? I almost laugh, but I don't. I just keep hammering. She's acting like my gate's a giant mess, but it's not. It's neat. It's blue. It's fine. Still, she's mad, and I can tell she's not going away anytime soon. Now let me tell you a little more about me and Mom moving here. When we first got to Oakwood Hills, I was nervous. New house, new school, new everything, but I liked it after a while. The street was quiet, and I made a few friends. Rusty loved the big yard too. Mom said it was a fresh start for us. She works a lot, so I'm home alone sometimes. That's okay, I'm good at keeping busy, like building stuff. I'd built a birdhouse once, and now this gate. I'm not a troublemaker or anything. I just like making things with my hands. But Karen, she didn't see me that way. To her, I was just the new kid who needed to follow her rules. Back to that Saturday, I'm still hammering and Karen's still yelling. "I'm going to call someone about this," she says, pulling out her phone. I glance at her, wondering who she's gonna call. The police, the mayor, Santa Claus, I don't know, but I'm not scared. See, I've been watching Karen for weeks. I've seen her boss people around. I've heard her complain about dumb stuff. And I've been waiting for the right moment to show her she's not the queen of everything. That moment, it's coming soon, really soon. While Karen's tapping on her phone, I sneak a peek down the street. There's a police car parked a few houses away. It's just sitting there, quiet, with no lights on. Weird, right? Karen doesn't see it. She's too busy being mad. But I see it, and I smile a little. My secret's about to come out, and it's gonna be awesome. She thinks she's got me in trouble, but she's wrong. This gate, this day, it's about to flip her whole world upside down. So what's my secret? How's this gonna end? You're curious, aren't you? Good, stick around, because things are about to get super exciting. Karen's in for a big surprise, and I can't wait to tell you what happens next. Trust me, it's worth it. Okay, picture this. I'm standing in my yard, holding my hammer, working on my little blue gate. The sun's shining, my dog Rusty's sniffing around, and everything feels pretty good. That is, until I hear it slap, slap, slap. It's the sound of flip-flops hitting the pavement, coming fast. I don't even have to look up to know who it is. It's Karen. She's storming over from across the street like she's on a super important mission. Her house is right there, all perfect with its neat grass and bright flowers, and now she's headed straight for me. Oh boy, here we go. Karen stops at the edge of my yard, her hands on her hips. She's wearing a big sun hat and a frown that makes her look like she just bit into a sour lemon. Jake, she yells, her voice sharp and loud. I freeze, my hammer halfway up, and look at her. What? I say, trying to sound nice even though I know she's about to be mean. She points at my gate, the one I'm building for Rusty, and her face gets even madder. That gate's an eyesore, she snaps. It's against HOA rules. It's too tall. It's too ugly. It's too everything. I blink at her, still holding my hammer. An eyesore, too tall, too ugly. I look at my gate. It's just a bunch of wooden planks painted blue. It's not fancy, but it's not bad either. I made it to keep Rusty safe so he doesn't run into the street chasing squirrels. That's all. It's just a gate, Karen, I say, keeping my voice calm. Rusty needs it. I point at my dog, who's now wagging his tail and looking at us like he's confused. But Karen doesn't care about Rusty. She doesn't even glance at him. Her eyes get all narrow, like she's trying to stare a hole right through me. You think you can just waltz in here and break the rules, she says, jabbing a finger at me, her fingers so close I can see her red nail polish. This is Oakwood Hills. We have rules and you're breaking them. I tilt my head, trying to figure out what she's so mad about. Rules? Sure, the HOA has rules like no pink houses or loud music at night, but a gate? I didn't think a gate was a big deal. Apparently, Karen does. She's acting like I built a giant tower or something crazy, not just a little fence for my dog. Then she says something that makes my jaw drop. I'm calling 911, she shouts, pulling her phone out of her pocket. This is vandalism. Vandalism. I almost laugh out loud, but I stop myself. Vandalism is when you break stuff, like smashing windows or drawing on walls. I'm not breaking anything, I'm building something, a gate, for Rusty, but Karen's serious. Her flip-flops are planted on the ground, and she's tapping at her phone like she's about to call the president, not the police. I take a deep breath and keep my cool. Karen, it's not vandalism, I say, but she's not listening. She's too busy glaring at me, her phone pressed to her ear now. I can hear it ringing faintly. I want to roll my eyes, but I don't. See, here's the thing. Karen doesn't know something big about me. She thinks I'm just some kid she can boss around. She thinks I'm scared of her big voice and her HOA rules. But I'm not even a little. I've got a secret, and it's a good one. She's about to find out she's not as smart as she thinks she is. Let me back up a bit. Karen's been like this ever since Mom and I moved here. I've been watching her for weeks. She's always on some kind of power trip, acting like she's the queen of Oakwood Hills. I've seen her yell at Mrs. Lopez, our nice neighbor with the pretty flowers. Karen said the flowers were too bright and against the rules. Mrs. Lopez just nodded and kept watering them anyway. Then there's Mr. Carter, the old guy with the rusty mailbox. Karen nagged him about it for days, saying it made the street look bad. Mr. Carter shrugged and told her he liked it rusty. Karen didn't win those fights, but she kept trying. She loves telling people what to do, and now it's my turn. I've had enough of her bossing everyone around. She thinks she can scare me with her loud voice and her phone call, but she's wrong. Today's gonna be different. I'm not just some new kid who'll back down. I've been quiet so far, watching and waiting, but I'm done with that. This sunny Saturday, it's the day things change. Karen doesn't know it yet, but she's about to get a big surprise. Back to the yard. Karen's on the phone now, talking fast. Yes, hello, she says, her voice all squeaky and mad. There's a kid breaking the rules right here. He's putting up an ugly gate. It's vandalism. Send someone to Oakwood Hills, 24 Maple Lane, quick. I watch her, my hammer still in my hand. She's packing a little, her flip-flops slapping the ground again. Slap, slap, slap. She looks at me with a smug little smile, like she's already won. You'll see, Jake, she says, hanging up the phone. The police are coming, and they'll make you take that gate down. I don't say anything, I just look at her and shrug. Inside, I'm smiling, but I don't let it show. She thinks she's got me trapped like a mouse in a cage. She thinks the police will show up, see my gate, and tell me I'm in big trouble. But here's the funny part, I'm not worried, not one bit. Why? Because I know something she doesn't, something big. Something that's gonna make her jaw drop even more than when she called my gate an eyesore. See, I've been paying attention. Ever since we moved here, I've noticed how Karen acts. She's always watching everyone, waiting for someone to mess up so she can swoop in and yell. She's like a teacher who loves giving detention, except she's not a teacher. She's just a lady with too much time and a loud voice. I've seen her march up to people's houses, knock on doors, and point at things she doesn't like. She's told Mrs. Lopez to pull out her flowers. She's told Mr. Carter to paint his mailbox. She even told my mom our welcome mat was too colorful once. Mom just laughed and kept it there. Karen doesn't scare us, but she thinks she does. And now she's standing there, smirking at me, waiting for the police to come. She thinks she's the boss of everything. She thinks I'm just a kid who doesn't know the rules, but I've been watching her power trips and I've been planning something. Not a mean plan, just a smart one, a way to show her she can't push me around. I've had enough of her picking on people, and today's the day I'm gonna do something about it. I look at my gate again. It's almost done, just a few more nails to go. It's blue and sturdy, and Rusty's already sniffing it like he approves. I made it myself with my own hands, and I'm proud of it. Karen can call it ugly all she wants, but it's mine and it's for my dog. She doesn't get to decide what I do in my yard. Not today, not ever. Karen's still standing there, tapping her foot. Tap, tap, tap. She's waiting for the police to show up and back her up. She thinks she's so smart, calling 911 over a gate. She thinks I'm gonna freak out and beg her to stop. But I don't. I just keep my cool, holding my hammer, looking at her with calm eyes. Inside, I'm excited. Something's coming, something she doesn't expect. She's been bossing people around for too long, and now it's her turn to be surprised. What's my secret? How am I so calm? You'll find out soon, I promise. Karen's about to learn that I'm not just some kid she can yell at. This day's gonna flip everything upside down, and I can't wait to see her face when it happens. Stick around, it's gonna be good. Okay, so there I am, standing in my yard with my hammer in my hand. My little blue gate is almost done, and Rusty's sniffing around like he's proud of me. The sun's still shining, and everything's pretty calm, except for Karen. She's right there, just a few steps away, holding her phone up like it's a magic wand. She's got this big smirk on her face, like she's already won some kind of game. You'll see, Jake, she says, her voice all smug and loud. The cops are coming, and they'll make you tear that gate down. She's so sure of herself, like she's the smartest person on the street. I don't say anything back. I just shrug my shoulders and keep hammering. Bang, bang, bang. The nails go into the wood nice and steady. Karen's words don't scare me, not even a little. She thinks she's got me in big trouble, but I'm not worried. I keep working, acting like she's not even there. That makes her mad, I can tell. Her smirk turns into a frown and she starts tapping her foot. Tap, tap, tap. She's waiting for me to freak out, but I don't. I've got a secret, and it's keeping me cool as a cucumber. Karen holds her phone tighter and starts dialing. She presses the buttons fast, like she's in a hurry to ruin my day. Then she puts the phone to her ear and starts talking loud enough for the whole street to hear. Yes, hello, she says, her voice all squeaky and bossy. There's a kid vandalizing property right now. It's happening at Oakwood Hills, 24 Maple Lane. Send someone quick. She's practically yelling and I can hear every word. Vandalizing, that's what she's calling my gate. I almost laugh, but I keep my face straight. I bang another nail into the wood instead. Bang. While she's talking, I sneak a quick look down the street. That's when I see it, a police car. It's parked just a few houses away, sitting there all quiet. The lights are off and it's not moving. Weird, right? It's just there, like it's been waiting all along. I tilt my head a little, making sure I'm not imagining it. Nope, it's real. A real police car right there on Maple Lane. I glance back at Karen and guess what? She hasn't noticed it. Not yet. She's too busy ranting into her phone, waving her free hand around like she's directing traffic. Yes, it's an emergency, she says to the person on the phone. This kid's breaking all the rules. It's a terrible gate, ugly and tall and against the HOA. Hurry. She hangs up and looks at me with that smirk again. They're on their way, Jake, she says, crossing her arms. You're in big trouble now. She's so happy about it, like she just won a prize. I can see it in her eyes. She thinks she's the boss of everything and I'm just a kid who's about to cry. But I don't cry. I don't even frown. I just shrug again and keep hammering. Bang, bang. Here's the thing Karen doesn't know. I'm not scared, not one bit. See, I've learned a thing or two since Mom and I moved to Oakwood Hills. It's been a few months and I've figured out how to handle people like Karen. She's a busybody, someone who's always sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. I've watched her boss everyone around and I've been waiting for my chance to stay one step ahead of her. Today, that day. She thinks she's winning, but the clock's ticking and her big moment. It's about to crash and burn. Let me tell you a little more about what I've seen. Karen's been on my radar ever since we got here. She's always out there, watching the street like a hawk. If someone's grass gets too long, she's there with her ruler, telling them to cut it. If someone parks their car a little crooked, she's knocking on their door, complaining. I've seen her yell at Mrs. Lopez about her flowers, those pretty yellow ones by her porch. Too bright, Karen said. They don't match the neighborhood. Mrs. Lopez just smiled and kept watering them. Then there's Mr. Carter and his rusty mailbox. Karen told him it was an eyesore and he had to fix it. Mr. Carter laughed and said, I like it rusty. Karen didn't win those fights, but she never stopped trying. And now she's after me. My gate's her new target. She's been watching me build it all morning, I bet. She probably saw me carry the wood out and decided right then she didn't like it. That's how she is, always looking for something to complain about. But I've been watching her too. I've seen how she acts, how she thinks she's in charge of everything. I've been quiet about it, just keeping my eyes open. I didn't argue with her before, even when she told Mom our welcome mat was too colorful. Mom laughed it off and I stayed out of it. But today's different. I'm not just gonna let her push me around. Back in the yard, Karen's packing now. Her flip-flops go slap, slap, slap on the pavement. She's waiting for the police to show up and prove she's right. She keeps looking at me, then at my gate, then back at me. "You're gonna regret this, Jake," she says, shaking her head. "That gate coming down, and you'll learn to follow the rules." I don't answer, I just keep working. Bang, bang, bang. Rusty barks at a squirrel running by and I smile a little. Karen's getting madder because I'm not scared. She wants me to beg her to stop, but I won't. I've got something up my sleeve and it's gonna surprise her big time. I sneak another look at that police car down the street. It's still there, quiet and still. No lights, no sirens, just sitting there like it's waiting for something. Karen's too busy talking to notice it. She's muttering to herself now, saying stuff like, "Kids these days, no respect, breaking rules left and right." I hear her, but I don't care. I've got my hammer, my gate, and my secret. That police car, it's part of the puzzle. Karen doesn't know it yet, but I do. And that's why I'm not worried. See, I've been smart about this. When we moved here, I didn't just sit around. I learned stuff. I figured out how things work in Oakwood Hills. I talked to people, watched what they did, and kept my ears open. Karen thinks I'm just some new kid who doesn't know anything, but she's wrong. I've been one step ahead of her this whole time. She's been bossing everyone around for weeks, and I've been waiting for the right moment to show her she's not the queen she thinks she is. That moment's coming soon, really soon. Karen stops packing and stares at me. "Why aren't you saying anything?" she asks, her voice sharp. "Don't you care that the police are coming?" I look up at her, my hammer still in my hand. "Nope," I say, nice and simple. Then I go back to hammering. Bang, her mouth opens a little, like she can't believe it. She's used to people arguing with her or saying sorry. But me, I'm not doing that. I'm calm, and it's driving her crazy. "You'll see," she says again, louder this time. "You'll be sorry when they get here." Ugh. I don't answer, I just keep working. The gate's looking good now, almost finished. Rusty's wagging his tail and the sun's still bright. Karen's big moment, her police call, is supposed to scare me, but it's not working. That police car down the street, it's a clue, a little hint about what's coming. Karen hasn't seen it and she doesn't know what I know. The clock's ticking and her plan about to fall apart. She thinks she's got everything under control, but she's wrong. Something big's about to happen, and it's gonna change everything. What's my secret? Why's that police car there? You're wondering, aren't you? Good, stick with me because the next part's gonna be awesome. Karen's in for a shock and I can't wait to tell you how it all goes down. Okay, so here we are, things are getting wild. Karen's just hung up her phone after calling 911. She's standing there in my yard, glaring at me like I've ruined her whole day. Her flip-flops are planted on the ground and her arms are crossed tight. She's so sure she's won. She thinks the police are on their way to yell at me and tear down my little blue gate. I'm still holding my hammer, banging the last few nails in, acting like nothing's wrong. Rusty's barking at a bird and the sun's shining bright. But then something big happens. Down the street, that police car I saw earlier, the one just sitting there all quiet. The door swings open, creak, two officers step out. One's a tall guy with a friendly face, that's Officer Daniels. The other's a lady with short hair and a tool belt, that's Officer Kim. They start walking toward us, their boots tapping on the pavement. Karen sees them and her face lights up like it's Christmas morning. "Finally," she shouts, waving her arms like she's trying to land a plane. "Officers, over here, arrest this kid. He's breaking every rule in the book." She's pointing at me, then at my gate, then back at me. Her voice is loud and bossy, and she's smiling that smug smile again. She thinks these cops are here to back her up. She thinks they're gonna march over, grab me, and rip my gate apart. He's vandalizing property, she says, stomping her foot. It's against HOA rules. Do something. I stop hammering and look up, waiting to see what happens. Karen's so excited, she's practically bouncing. But here, where it gets good. Officer Daniels doesn't even look at Karen, not once. He walks right past her, straight to me with a little smile on his face. His boots crunch on the grass and he stops next to my gate. "Hey Jake," he says, nice and calm. "Fence looks good." Wait, what? Karen's head snaps around so fast I think it might fall off. Her mouth drops open and she freezes like a statue. What?" she stammers, her voice all shaky. Oh, she's staring at Officer Daniels, then at me, then back at him. She can't believe what she just heard. I put my hammer down and grin. It's time to drop the bomb, the big surprise I've been hiding this whole time. "Oh, did I mention Karen?" I say, keeping my voice super casual. "Officer Daniels is my uncle, and Officer Kim, she's been helping me build this gate. It's all approved. I checked the rules myself." Boom, there it is, the truth. Karen's face goes white, like all the color just whooshed out of it. Her eyes get huge and her mouth hangs open even wider. She looks like she's seen a ghost. "Let me break it down for you. See, Karen thought she was so smart, calling 911 on me. She thought the police would show up, see my gate, and say, 'Jake, you're in trouble.' But guess what? The cops were already here, parked down the street the whole time. And they weren't here for her. They were here for me, but not in the way she thought. Officer Daniels is my mom's brother, my uncle. He's tall and funny, and he's been around since I was little. And Officer Kim, she's his partner at work, and she's cool too. She likes building stuff just like me. They've been helping me with this gate all week, bringing wood, giving me tips, making sure it's strong. And here's the best part. My gate's not against the rules. Nope, I'm not dumb. I made sure it was okay. Last month, I went to an HOA meeting with Mom. It's this boring thing where grown-ups sit around and talk about neighborhood stuff. I brought my gate plan, a little drawing I made, and showed it to everyone. I told them it was for Rusty, to keep him safe. They said, "Looks good, Jake, go for it." They even wrote it down in their rule book or whatever. So my gate, it's totally allowed. Karen just didn't know because she never checked. She's too busy yelling at people to actually read the rules. Back to the yard, Karen's still standing there looking like she might fall over. Officer Kim walks up next to my uncle and she's smiling too. "Nice work, Jake," she says, patting the gate. "It's sturdy." Karen's head whips around to her. What?" she says again, louder this time. She's so confused, it's almost funny. "You're helping him," she squeaks. Officer Daniels nods. "Yup," he says. "It's a good gate, and it's approved. What's the problem?" Karen's mouth opens and closes like a fish. She doesn't know what to say. She called 911 thinking she'd win, but now the cops are here and they're on my side. Her big plan's falling apart right in front of her. But he's just a kid," she finally says, pointing at me. "He can't do this." Officer Kim raises an eyebrow. "He can," she says. "He followed the rules. Did you?" Ooh, burn. Karen's face turns red now like a tomato. She's mad, but she's also embarrassed. She didn't expect this, not at all. I lean against my gate and cross my arms just like Karen did earlier. "Told you it was just a gate," I say, smiling big. Rusty barks and wags his tail like he's cheering for me. The officers laugh a little and Karen looks like she wants to disappear. She thought she was the boss, but now she's the one who looks silly. All her yelling, all her phone calls, they didn't work. I stayed calm, and my secret came out at the perfect time. Uncle Daniels and Officer Kim being here, that's the big reveal. And it's awesome. Karen's flip-flops shuffle as she takes a step back. This isn't right, she says, but her voice is quieter now. She's losing her steam. She thought she'd scare me, but instead, she's the one who's scared of looking dumb in front of everyone. The neighbors are starting to peek out their windows now, watching the show. Mrs. Lopez is on her porch, grinning, Mr. Carter, by his mailbox, chuckling. They see it too. Karen's big moment just crashed and burned. So there you go, that's the climax. My gate's safe, the cops are my friends, and Karen's plan backfired. She didn't know I had an uncle on the police force or that I'd checked the rules. She thought she could push me around, but I turned it all around on her. What's gonna happen next? Will Karen give up? Stick around, you'll love how this ends. So there we are in my yard. My little blue gate is standing tall, and the big surprise just happened. Karen's still standing there, her face all red and confused. She thought she'd win by calling the police, but nope. Officer Daniels is my uncle, and Officer Kim helped me build the gate. It's all allowed, and Karen's plan blew up in her face. Now it's time for the end of this story, and trust me, it feels good. Officer Kim turns to Karen. She crosses her arms and looks serious. Ma'am, she says, false 911 calls are a big deal. You can't just call the police for no reason. You might want to think twice next time. Her voice is calm but strong, like a teacher telling you to stop running in the hall. Karen's eyes get wide and she starts to sputter. But he's just a kid, she says, pointing at me like that explains everything. She's trying to argue, but it's not working. She sounds silly now, and she knows it. My uncle, Officer Daniels, steps in. He's smiling a little, but his eyes are sharp. A kid who knows the rules better than you do, apparently, he says. Ooh, that's a good one. Karen's mouth opens, then closes, like she's a fish out of water. She doesn't have anything to say back. The neighbors, who have been peeking out their windows this whole time, can't hold it in anymore. They burst into laughter, big, loud laughs that echo down the street. Mrs. Lopez is giggling on her porch. Mr. Carter's chuckling by his rusty mailbox. Everyone's watching, and they're on my side. Karen's reign of terror, her time of bossing everyone around, it's over. At least for today. I grab my hammer and bang the last nail into my gate. Bang, it's done. The gate looks awesome, blue, strong, and perfect for Rusty. He's behind it now, barking and wagging his tail like he's saying, "Good job, Jake." I give him a pat on the head and smile. Karen's still standing there, but she's not yelling anymore. She mutters something under her breath, grumbly words I can't hear, and then she turns around. Her flip-flops start slapping the pavement again. Slap, slap, slap. She stomps off down the street back to her perfect house, looking mad and small. The sound of her flip-flops gets quieter and quieter until she's gone. Officer Kim and Uncle Daniels turn to me. "Nice work, Jake," Officer Kim says, and she holds up her hand. I slap it, high five. My uncle high fives me too, his big hand making a loud clap against mine. "You showed her," he says, grinning. I nod, feeling proud. The neighborhood feels different now, quieter, happier. No more HOA lectures from Karen, at least for a while. She's not gonna mess with me again anytime soon, that's for sure. The sun's still shining, and Rusty's running around behind the gate. The neighbors go back inside, still smiling. I did it. I stood up to Karen and justice was served. She learned she can't boss everyone around and I got to keep my gate. It's a win for me, for Rusty, and for the whole street. Okay, so that's my story. My gate's up, Karen's gone, and the day turned out awesome. Rusty's safe, the neighbors are happy, and I showed everyone I'm not just some kid who'll let a bossy lady push me around. But before I go, let's talk about what this all means. There's a lesson here, a big one, and it's something you can use too. Ready? Here we go. So what's the lesson? Well, sometimes the people who act the loudest, like they're the boss of everything, don't really have much to back it up. Think about Karen. She was yelling, pointing, calling 911, acting like she owned the whole street. Her flip-flops were loud, her voice was loud, everything about her was loud. But in the end, she didn't know the rules. She didn't check. She just wanted to boss me around because she could. Turns out, all that noise didn't mean she was right. It just meant she was scared of losing control. The loudest people, they might not have as much power as they think. And me, I learned something cool that day. I'm just a kid, 12 years old, not super tall or super loud, but I figured out how to win. How? A little patience and a good plan. I didn't yell back at Karen. I didn't get mad or cry or run away. I stayed calm. I kept hammering my gate even when she was freaking out. I had a secret, my uncle and Officer Kim, and I waited for the perfect time to use it. That patience turned everything around. It was like a game of checkers. I didn't jump all over the board. I moved one piece at a time and then bam, I won. That's the trick, you know. You don't always have to be loud or fast to come out on top. A good plan and a cool head can beat anyone, even a Karen. I stuck up for myself, but I didn't fight dirty. I used the rules, my family, and my brain. And guess what? It worked. She thought she'd scare me, but I flipped it all upside down. When she least expected it, I showed her I wasn't afraid. That felt so good, like hitting a home run or getting an A on a tough test. So here's what I want you to think about. You can do this too. Maybe you've got a Karen in your life, someone bossy who thinks they're better than you. Maybe it's a kid at school who's always loud, or a grown-up who tells you what to do all the time. Don't let them scare you. Keep your cool. Make a plan. Stick up for yourself in a smart way. You don't have to shout or get mad. Just be patient, and when the time's right, show them what you've got. Who knows? You might surprise them and come out on top, just like I did. Life's full of Karens, but it's full of Jakes too, kids like me and you who can stand tall even when someone's trying to push us down. So next time you're in a tough spot, think about my gate. Think about Rusty barking behind it, happy and safe. Think about Karen stomping off, muttering to herself. You've got power inside you, quiet power, and it's stronger than any loud voice. Use it and you'll see, the best wins don't always come with noise. Sometimes they come with a smile and a high five from the people who believe in you. What do you think? Have you ever stood up to someone bossy? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you liked this, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time, friends.